back to Side Note Saturday. Today, I thought it might be fun to walk you through how I make mayonnaise. It's really a super simple process. The only thing that takes a bit of time is trying to emulsify the oil with the eggs. But you just stand there and hold the hand mixer, and eventually it thickens up into a nice creamy mayonnaise. So it's very simple, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of show what I do. When I first started trying to make mayo, I had quite a few duds, actually. I wasn't quite understanding the process, even when I looked up recipes. But now I kind of figured it out little by little, trying different kinds of recipes, and then it finally clicked what has to happen for the mayo to come together. So it wasn't necessarily easy for me in the beginning, but I persevered, and now I make mayo all the time, and I haven't bought mayo from the store in a really long time, which feels good. I'm trying to get away from processed foods at the store as much as possible, just because they put extra things in it to make it preserve for longer, but it's just not necessarily the best, I don't think. So, but all that aside, it's really fun to make mayo. It's really easy, and if you have chickens and eggs, you can have constant mayo in your house. I am a huge fan of mayo. I have some friends who are not. They never eat mayo. But I've always really liked mayo, and a lot of mayo. I like it thick on sandwiches, or I even like dipping my French fries in mayo. It's my favorite thing. So anyways, I thought I'd bring you guys along on this video to see just how I make it. So it shouldn't be a super long video today, but it should be fun. So let's get to it. Okay, so these are my ingredients. I usually do 2 eggs at a time because that will fill this jar, usually to about there, which is perfect. And this jar will last me 3 weeks to a month, and then I can make more. So I use paprika for a spice, turmeric, salt, and garlic. I've tried other spices, other blends. They were all pretty good, but these are my favorite, so I've just stuck with these for the last few batches. And then I also use this avocado oil. So this is my favorite oil to use when making mayo because it lends a really mild, soft flavor, but it doesn't overpower with flavoring, and it just kind of makes it light and airy, I think. So that's all you really need. So an oil base of your choosing, a couple eggs, and whatever spices you enjoy. That's the fun thing about mayo. You can spice it up the way you want it to. And it's usually really good. All right, let's get started. Okay, the next thing that you will need is one of these handheld immersion blenders. They work really well. There is perchance a way to make mayo in a different kind of blender, but I don't have a different kind of blender. So I haven't researched whether or not you could put these ingredients in another blender and try it that way, but I think not. And the reason is this step is the most important one to make your mayo come out perfect. And you have to drip in the oil a little bit at a time. And with like a top feed blender or something like that, it really wouldn't be feasible to be blending and take the lid off, right? So I think a handheld immersion blender is the way to go for this part. Okay, so I just give my eggs and spices a couple of beats to mix them up before I start adding my oil. Just like that is enough. You can already see that it is growing in size, and when you start adding your oil in, it's gonna whip up faster. Oops. So in case you guys were ever wondering if this is real life, this is real life, and this kind of thing happens to me all the time because I don't have my ducks in a bucket. However, we will persevere. We still have at least 1 egg worth left in the jar. So the same principle should still apply. And thankfully I had already mixed in my spices, so they should be pretty evened out as well. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, so as you can see here, it's gotten nice and thick and spreadable. I tend to like more of a Miracle Whip consistency for my mayo than maybe traditional mayonnaise. Hopefully you guys know what I mean by that, but it's more of a dressing than a spread. So I'm happy with this. The other thing to note is that when you pop this baby in the freezer or in the fridge, it's going to thicken up as well and be nice and spreadable. So I'm gonna stop there. A couple of things to note: when you first start with the oil, you want to just drizzle it in as little as possible at a time. But as your mixture starts to get thick, then you can pour it in a little bit more generously, in a more steady stream, I guess. And the emulsification won't separate, it will stay together. So this is kind of what it looks like after the fact. So yeah, it's time to eat this. I'm gonna go ahead and get some out and spread it on my tortilla for this evening. Okay, here we go. Nice and spreadable. I'm gonna put this right on here. I'm gonna make a quesadilla, and like I said earlier, I love mayo on everything. So I'm just gonna spread some nice and generously on here, and it will blend really nicely with the cheese and make for a yummy quesadilla. I apologize for this video turning into how to persevere when your mayo explodes all over the kitchen counter, but don't panic, just keep blending. Thank you for watching this Side Note Saturday. I did want to mention that I blended that for probably 4 or 5 minutes before it thickened up. If you had the proper amount of eggs in there, it usually takes about 8 to 10 minutes for it to thicken up, which is kind of a long time. But it does get there eventually. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you in the next one.